Tuesday, Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 47 of the most hype podcast in all of college football. It's the Husker Hype Radio Podcast. I'm Eddie Rosenthal, joined by Aaron Worsfold. And folks, do we have a good one lined up for you today? E-Rock will not be joining us, guys. He admitted himself into the psych ward last night. What he bought, what was it, Aaron? $1,000 worth of Colorado and Iowa merch combined.
Yep.
Something got into him, and he was texting us like these delusional messages saying that Matt Rhules is the worst human being on earth, and that Dylan Raiola is the downfall of Husker football. And actually, we took it upon ourselves to send the police to E-Rock's house. He's in the psych ward today. Hopefully, he gets better. But
just a shame.
April Fools, guys. April Fools. We got him. Now it's E-Rock's birthday today, so E-Rock thought it was more important getting fucked up on a Monday than doing the Husker Hype Radio podcast. But you can't blame the kid.
When it's your birthday. Your birthday, you gotta let your hair down, podcast. He'll be back next week. We gotta take one off every now and then.
Yeah. Great, man. So spring football has officially started. We've seen the videos on Instagram, the workout videos, the nice little pump you ups. You wake up in the morning, you go, God damn, Dylan Raiola just throwing that football, baby, just gives you goosebumps. You go, I can't wait to see that with my other 90,000 buddies in Lincoln when we see him fucking at the 3-yard line, throw a 97-yard bomb to one of our boys.
Yep, absolutely.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to happen. But I mean, with those throwing videos, man, you don't look too much into it,
Mm-hmm.
They're not making plays or anything like that. It's really just to pump the fans up, I think. And that's good.
Yeah, that's good. And I have to say that I watched the first 10 seconds of the video and then I scrolled past because I can't take it sometimes because I get so excited. I'm like, this is just purely for my entertainment. It's doing a great job, but I sometimes I just can't take it when I just get so excited.
Yeah, you definitely go, okay, we're winning every single game. And you start going at that and looking at season tickets and like donating thousands of dollars.
Yes.
You gotta control yourself a little bit. It is very hard. I want to like automatically take a fireball shot and shotgun a beer, but I can't do that because I'm at work. But yeah, man. Heiner Carbarg and Dylan Raiola, I'd say, were the two biggest guys that you see. Really, not a lot of Danny K throwing, but maybe he's so good that Matt Rhules like, hey, don't show this guy. This is our little secret weapon.
Don't show the film.
Don't show the film. Whatever. Kind of one of the things that strikes me the most or was very telling in what they kind of gave us with these videos and pictures were the different colored jerseys. Aaron, I don't know if you noticed those jerseys, but there were a lot of yellow jerseys. And apparently these yellow jerseys mean that guys are out or very, very limited for spring ball. And there's some big names that have those yellow jerseys. I'd say probably the biggest two is going to be Deshaun Singleton and Gabe Ervin Jr. Gabe Ervin Jr. we kind of know about already, but Deshaun Singleton, I did not think that he was still rehabbing. I thought that he was back in action. What do you think that like this means? Do you think this is a big deal, or do we think we'll get him back ready for fall?
Yeah, if there's one thing I know about this coaching staff, health is wealth, that's what they're bought into. And I think that this is just another form of that. They're just taking precautions. Don't want to rush him back too soon. Because Coach Rhules said that this guy could even go to the draft this year if he goes off and has a crazy year. So it's probably just making sure that he's ready for fall camp once that starts rolling down. I would guess,
Right. And then Coach Rhules said in the press conference that he thinks that Deshaun Singleton should get a medical red shirt They've
Mhm.
written to the NCAA. They've put an appeal out. But does that mean for last year, so he gets one more year, or are they going to try to sit him out this year? That's kind of what was confusing to me.
Well, the way I heard it was that since it was the first play of the, because if you play only 4 games, you get your red shirt or whatever. And the fifth game, the first play against Michigan on the kickoff or whatever that play was, he
Right.
got hurt. So he's trying to say like, hey, he didn't play that fifth game. It was a one
It was
play.
4 games in one play.
Yes.
Exactly.
Which, if
Yeah.
I'm
And
the NCAA, and I hate to say this because he's our guy, but I'm kind of tired of seeing these dudes that have been playing football or playing basketball for like 6, 7, 8 years.
but how much is really Deshaun's? I feel like just this past year is when we really saw Deshaun play a lot. Anyway, like, and I'm surprised it was only 4 games. Like looking back on it, it seemed like he was playing a lot more, or in those 4 games at least was very impactful.
Yeah, and he had a lot of hype going into the year too, so we had a
Right.
lot big spotlight on him.
So does that mean so he wants a medical red shirt for this in 2 years base if he
Yeah, just to
needs to.
give him an extra year eligibility should he need it. So I think
Right.
that's this year and next year
Right. Okay.
would be the because I think for sure he can play this year, and then they want to give him a chance to have one more if he needs it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I hope that it's a knee injury. So yeah, you really got to take those. Like, if it's spring ball, dude. Yeah, like I mean, I feel like it's spring ball is a lot bigger for maybe more up and coming guys that have been in the program and that have played, like fucking Nash and T Rob, for instance. Apparently, they're a little bit limited. Like they're
Mhm.
it's not because they're hurt, but it's because Matt Rule knows what these guys can do already. And it's like, why would we risk them going 100% in spring ball, getting
Yeah.
hurt for fall, which I
And
kind of like.
one thing I didn't even know was that fall ball starts in July this year, like a few weeks early. So that probably has something to
Serious.
do with it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like it, but then I also don't. I mean, I don't think that these guys are going to take it that way where it's like, oh, I'm the big bad senior, so I don't have to do anything. Like they're still leading probably,
Yeah.
but you could see that could turn some ways wrong in a maybe a program where it's not like the culture's not there yet, but hopefully we know what we're doing. These guys
Yeah.
aren't taking it like that, which I don't think they are.
No,
But
they're not.
that is some.
You think fucking these boys are out here not wanting to practice? Their coach is going into practice and he's pulling them out. And he said, I told you can't practice because I'm trying to, XYZ. I don't know what he said there, but they're pulling them out. If it
Oh,
was up to
right,
them, they'd be practicing. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to
right.
worry about the dog and that boy.
They probably had to put a leash on that motherfucker
Yeah,
and drag him off
yeah,
the field.
yeah,
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 they definitely there. He was like, Coach, no,
yeah.
let me fucking beat
Tooth
up
and
on some
nail.
freshmen.
He's fighting
He's
tooth
like,
and nail. I heard it took half the coaching staff to get him off the field, dude.
yeah, no, it actually did, and I did hear that as well. And Aaron, I mean, you couldn't make it to any spring practices this week, but I know you talked to Mr. Dannon. And how is that spring media pass coming along? Because I know we're in the works with getting one.
Yeah, we got to the third phone call. We one email in, third phone call in. We're heading in the right direction. I haven't talked to Dannon himself, his receptionist, Sheila, lovely woman. Um, yeah, so hopefully we'll have that pass here in the next a bit of time, and we'll be having full access.
It's probably he doesn't want us to, because you know how when we're with Coach Rule, it's just talk, talk, talk. We go on for hours. And at the end of the day, Matt's got to coach the football team, but he always
Yeah,
wants to chop it up with the boys.
yeah,
He's always giving us t-shirt ideas and shit, and that's fun. But honestly, we don't really want to interfere with practice all that much. So
yeah,
it is kind of nice looking from afar, and just listening to Sean Callahan and Steve Sipple talk about it. Those guys, great reporters. Also, Sean does get a little jealous when we're out there, and we kind of get, they see us, we're all in the reporting field, and they go, Ed, Aaron, how about you? What I want to hear what you want to ask me, And those questions that we ask probably take 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes even more. But it's good to let those other reporters get a question in there too.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Brody, going back to injured guys, yellow jerseys, Brody Tagaloa, you know him?
No.
So this guy, he's a defensive guy. I want to say like defensive end, outside linebacker, one of those guys that bounces around for those two positions. In a car crash last year and still recovering, I guess. Which sucks for Brody, man. Like hopefully he gets it back together, and that's one where it's like, he's a younger gun. He hasn't played in it, played all last year. So really not the same on the same page as Deshaun, to where he knows the defense and has played in games. Like Brody, I feel like needs some reps coming in, and hopefully he gets better at least for fall practice, because I feel like he could be a big addition to the defense. But it sucks, man. A car accident and you're out for a year plus.
Yeah, that means it's a serious deal. That's tough. I haven't heard anything about that.
Right. So hopefully that's good. And then we got Gabe Irvin Jr. out still, will not practice spring, per Sean Callahan. Man. And I feel like this is just going to put Emmett Johnson and Dante Dowdle to the top really quick. Like coming into the fall, it's definitely going to be those two guys running the room. Like that Dante Dowdle picture, I don't know if you saw it. That
Ramir's still out
motherfucker,
too? What the fuck? Ramir's still out too?
yeah, Ramir's not doing full. He might be in a green jersey. So there's yellow jerseys and green jerseys, and green is like what quarterbacks usually wear, but some players are as well. Like Malachi Coleman is wearing a green jersey too.
Okay.
Um, it
Huh.
just kind of it's a little frustrating how many guys are in these green and yellow jerseys. And I mean, it's a football team. Injuries happen, but you hate seeing, I feel like, as many as there is, a little concerning, maybe.
Are they being too protective, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that or what's going on with off-season injuries. Like, how are these motherfuckers even like Malachi was good all last season? Or are there
I
just
think you
little like
Yeah,
like
I think
little
it's
like
more maintenance stuff to be like, hey,
right,
we're supposed to peak at this point in time in the year, and we're at the base of the hill right now. We got to build our way up, and I think that like the health and like the futuristic like whatever you want to call it statistics on it about just general recovery stuff is really driving a lot of this like decisions Coach Rule and the staff's making, honestly. Because you see with the foam helmets, we never wore the foam helmets, and
right,
there's probably a lot of other stuff behind the scenes that we don't see, obviously, that
right.
they have implemented.
And it's not being a bitch, but maybe spring practice you can be a little bit of a bitch. But once fall time comes around and your pinky toe hurts, I'm sorry, bud,
Right.
but we got to practice. Get your ass in there.
Yeah.
Like it's go time. We can't say that when it's the third quarter versus fucking Ohio State. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to put my
Yes.
green jersey on. No.
Correct. And
So like
and
once
to your
once
point,
fall rolls around, there's probably going to be a lot less of what we're seeing now.
yeah, absolutely. Because to your point, one thing Coach Rule said was it's going to take a lot of guys. When we get to the nitty gritty, we get to November of Big Ten football, we're going to need a lot of guys. And if someone's hurt, good thing we have all these younger guys in spring ball right now getting developed. Like we said, that's kind of the focus of what's going on right now. They're going to have more experience, more cohesiveness. It's a win. We're winning.
That's another way to get those young guns reps, baby.
Yep.
Get those young guys who need to learn the system, let them go in, and then from the sideline, Nash will be like, "Hey, dog, do this shit a little bit next time or something, or fucking you get these reps in. I already know what I'm doing. I'm a fucking black shirt baby,
Mhm.
but we need to get you to get on black shirt level."
Right. And like next year, bro. We're going to need them next year too.
Right, right, right. So
The only I saw purple. Isaac Gifford was wearing purple. What's that? What was that one?
I don't know what the purple one is.
He
Maybe
was
it's like most badass motherfucker on the team type shit.
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
dope.
they did like the another episode of the Chasing Three. You saw? I haven't watched it, but they were talking about Isaac Gifford, and I guess like I saw like a little tidbit and about him, kind of not really feeling it, I guess, when it was Frost last year and wondering why they were doing the things they were doing. And his dad said, "Hey, if you want to play for Nebraska, dude, you better just get with the program and not ask questions and go out there and be a leader." I mean, I don't know. That's
Dog.
yeah. What else do we got, brother? Some interesting Matt Rule notes in his spring conference again. Kind of going on the well, Stefan Thompson, Syracuse transfer, said that he had a difficult transition and did not come in shape.
Oof.
What do we think about that? A guy
Ah.
who, is was it's interesting because he was on Tony White's defense before at Syracuse, and now he comes into Nebraska and isn't ready to play. Like, it is the Nebraska standards just that much more now than they like year two. We're not trying to figure things out on the culture level. Like, this stuff is set in stone. And I think it's different for players not coming to Nebraska to really get a hold of that. But once they get a
Yeah.
grasp of it, like, that's probably a bigger thing than being physically fit or um like like having the weight, is to be like, hey, you're playing at Nebraska, man, and this is how the way things go here. And I think that's something. It doesn't matter how talented you are, if you're not buying in,
Hmm.
then I don't care how good of a player you are, dude. Like, you got it's this way or that way.
Yeah.
And if you're going that way, then take a
That's not
hike.
that's the wrong way. That's the
Right.
wrong way.
Right.
The second bullet point I like though is Thompson's worked very hard and he looks better already. But for me, this situation's like you lied on a job application. Your resume, you were lying on your resume. He pulled up and he was like, "Buddy, it's like going on a date and the chick you got catfished. The chick's fat."
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, "What? I thought you were gonna be a hot blonde and we were gonna have fun on the night, have some cocktails, and now I just want to act like I don't see you and go to the bathroom and go out the back exit."
And now this is what I see. But good thing for Nebraska, like, this is longer than a first date. Like, you can't lose like 10 pounds in one night and then have fun again. Like, he's got some time. Um, but that does kind of suck. Like, a guy who's played football for a while, and this is what Matt Rhules said. He said, you don't show up out of shape in the NFL and get a second chance.
Oof.
So like he is talking like job interview type stuff, dude. If you're
Yeah.
not here to play, then yeah, it's NFL is different in college, but Matt Rule, he's gonna go, hey, dude, seriously? Like, you're doing I'm trying to give you a second chance and you're gonna come in like this? Like, he was probably
And
like, you
GMs and
better
head
get your
coaches
shit
in the
together.
NFL hear that stuff and they're like, "Oh, buddy," they're gonna call Coach Rule and they'll be like, "Hey, I heard this press conference or whatever," and that's a tough way to start.
Right, right. Another guy who's been playing for a while, Florida guy, Michael Makuza, kind of same thing.
Mackay,
Where Micah Makuza, yeah. Or is it Makai? I don't know.
I don't know. You said Michael though, but
Oh yeah,
tomato,
I did say
tomato.
Michael. Sorry. Um, yeah. What do you think about Matt Rule kind of calling out players like this at press conference? Do you think it's more for the players, or is it him just like letting off some steam?
You
Like,
know,
what do you think is like the reasoning behind all this? Like, to get a fire under their ass?
I don't know, dude, because I often think that Coach Rule just talks too much sometimes, and he just like our colleague Sean Callahan will ask a question and he tangents for 5 extra minutes. It's like, dude, I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know. I would assume that it's like to hype people up or like because they're gonna see the clippings, they're gonna hear what coach says about them. So if they hear him saying something good about you, you're gonna continue working hard. And then if you're the type of person that needs tough love and he's like, yeah, buddy showed up out of shape and whatever, I don't know.
Right. And it's kind of the opposite of how Frost would, I feel like, be with reporters, to where he would kind of go like put a blanket over everything and be like, no, this is the best week of practice we've had all. You remember every single week he'd go, I know what happened last game, but we had the best week of practice this week that I've ever had in my whole career here. This was the best week with these guys. This wide receiver group is having their best week of football.
Yeah.
That's not how Matt Rule approaches it. If something's not going good, he's going to say that. And he's being very transparent But do you don't want him to lie, of course, but yeah, do you kind of think he's saying a little too much, maybe? There, that's just his way of going.
Yeah.
He's an
Yeah.
honest guy,
Yeah.
and you got to appreciate that. But also, maybe don't. He's not throwing him under the bus. He kind of is. But if that's what's going to get these guys to get motivated and to do better, then maybe that's what you got to do. And he knows
Mhm.
that. He probably knows, like from
He
his
does it for a
experience
reason. Absolutely
being a
does it for a
coach. Yeah,
reason.
yeah, he's definitely not just being like, fuck these kids, bro. Like,
Yeah.
no, he wants good for everybody. I guess it's just a different way than what we've seen in the past. He's not backing them up for no reason. It's like, hey, dude, it's time to really get things going, you know? And
Mhm.
he's probably saying in the media what he's saying to these guys one on one.
I honestly think that what he says in the media is probably like a fraction of like the crazy shit that he says to the players. Because you see those little snippets of what he says in the locker room or in the tunnel before games and stuff. I would love to be a fly on the wall in the locker room when he goes in there and just like rips somebody's ass, or I don't know if he does that, but if something that'd be dope.
Right. Right. I wonder how like intense practices are, dude. Like compared,
Right.
just that'd be I wish we could go to a freaking practice, dude. If Troy would just give us our freaking media cards already, that'd be pretty nice. Um maybe they got lost in the mail. They
Yeah, I
probably
should.
that's probably what happened.
I'll send a follow-up email to Sheila.
Yeah. But it's interesting. I like I said, we just haven't seen that before. And I think it's all for the better. But come like during the fall, and he's saying things like this player's not ready for this or that player's not ready, like coaches might listen and take advantage of, okay, well, we don't got to worry about this guy this week. Or maybe he's doing reverse psychology.
It's probably also like the questions being asked right now because it's off season. They're just asking about a bunch of guys like, who's someone that you see doing well or whatever it is, or because when it's actually this season, they're not going to be like, what do you think about the development of Makai Makuza, you know?
Yeah,
Or
right. Well, it'll be interesting. And then here's on the other hand, which we're saying Matt Rhule is very transparent in kind of saying what's going on with players. Apparently, um, Sean Callahan says that what we see now, us media guys in practice, is a lot less than what it was with previous coaches. Like, apparently, they only get to see individual drills, no scrimmages or like team kind of drills. It's just individual where guys are stretching or doing ball drills. Like the DBs are working with the DBs or and then wide receivers with receivers and quarterbacks and shit. It's not a whole team thing. Like the media doesn't get to see that, which is kind of interesting.
that is interesting.
Maybe he thinks there's some snakes in the media.
So then that kind of goes back on what we were just saying about how he talks too much at the press conference.
Exactly. That's what I said. Like on the
Yeah.
other hand,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 I don't know, man. I like that actually, though. You don't
yeah,
want the
I
fucking media. This is boys only. This is the locker room. This is the gym. This is where we go crazy. Get out of our locker room if you're not on the team.
yep. Yep. And then he says, you know what? Come April 27th, you'll see all the hard work come into play on Memorial Stadium. You'll see the boys ball out for all of Nebraska. And then you can judge me.
April
And then you can judge Steph.
27th. Yeah, I'm for sure gonna be able to go to that. Look at the calendar.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta get my ticket.
I'm pretty pumped up for that spring game, man. I think it will be fun. Um here we talked about last week. Well, Erock and I talked about it 2 weeks ago, but Aaron, you finally got your players that you're pumped up to see. Do you want to go ahead and give us a couple of them that you're fired up for spring ball? He's got the note. He's got the sticky pad.
So I have the question written down, and the unfortunate part is I don't have the players also written down. So hand up, my bad. It didn't do the
Dude,
task this
I
week.
FaceTime you yesterday and you go,
I
yeah,
know,
dude, I
I
got
know.
it.
Because I was looking at it and I was like, the thing is every person I read about, I'm excited about. Like I can't be like on,
Right.
you know,
Well,
and the only
we're
thing,
Husker hype, dude. Just
yeah,
throw out a fucking
exactly.
couple of names to get the boys
Like
fired up.
when Makai was whatever buddy's name is, when he was talking about how physically talented he was, I just got chubbed up, bro. Like I just can't help but
Right.
get fired up about every single player, you know?
Right. It's tough. And it's the off season, so we hit on this last weekend, but we really do all talk about the same guys all the time. Um, but it's still fun to just throw some names out there and
Yeah,
get
maybe
fired up.
we'll you know what we should do? Here's an idea. We'll go by position group or like do a couple position groups a week and really then
Yeah,
we said yeah,
we
we said
could
we were gonna do that.
we could dive deep into that. And one more week into spring ball, hopefully we get some reports on guys that are starting to stand out. I feel like there's only been what, less than a week of actual
Yeah.
spring ball. So it's still slow news. And I guess with only individual drills, the media, we're not getting that much coverage on really anybody right now.
Yeah, we're grasping at straws over here.
Right. Right. So it is tough for us media guys, you know? And hey, but that's just the world we live in. And I'm going to respect Matt Rule for keeping the DL. At least he's not PJ flecking us and saying, no, you're not even going to get a fucking spring game. I would be pissed at that. What are you even going to report as a Minnesota
Yeah,
reporter, dude?
for
If you can't
real.
even see anything, like we don't know what the hell's going on, that would suck. Um, Here's an interesting one. I was a couple of guys had like individual press conferences outside of Coach Rule. He's kind of the lone coach who's doing press conferences too, which is a different thing. I feel like I remember all the time under Frost, it was Ryan Held was doing a lot of talking. Matt Lubbock, we had Coach Shenander. All those guys were talking a lot to the media. Now, coaching wise, this whole spring practice, it's just been Matt Rule and some players. Fedoni talked. He said that he really likes Satterfield as his tight ends coach because he's kind of showing him how the offense works as a whole. He's still co-offensive coordinator, you know, so he's
Mhm.
showing him how this whole thing wraps around together, which is cool, and probably has a good grasp on tight ends as well. He has to. He's the fucking coach. Um, Hopefully, Jesus. But the most interesting one, I listened to Malcolm Hartzog, our cornerback last year, said that he has now in spring practice only exclusively practiced with the safeties. What do we think about that? Is like that's pretty surprising for me, man. They're gonna move Malcolm Hartzog to exclusively safety at least for now. Like, do you think
We
is
probably yeah,
he
well, we have a lot more depth at DB than we do at safety, right?
right? Tons more. I feel like half of our freaking roster are
Right.
DBs, dude. So with that and Singleton out right now, possibly getting a medical red shirt for maybe even this season. Who knows? Hopefully not. But Deshaun Singleton out, it's like you got it. You can't only have two guys back there. You
Right.
know, you get like we got to build some depth back there for sure. Corey Collier's gone.
And quite
Um,
frankly, Malcolm Hartzog underwhelming last year at DB.
a little bit, yeah. He made some. It was those third and long or second and medium pass plays where a lot of those guys Hartzog was covering, and you were like, Malcolm, I love you, but we got to stop this shit, bro.
He just looks like one of those guys on the field that like just looks so good too. You look at him and you're like, damn. When he takes that helmet off, he got those dreads. You're like, damn, he's so good.
Hey. Well, dude, he's for a safety kind of undersized, man. He's less than 6 foot, like 180 pounds, I believe. I feel like at safety, you kind of want a taller guy back there. But I mean, Marquise Buford, he's not that big either. It's probably, well, Isaac Gifford for sure is back there.
Hmm.
Sometimes maybe rolling up to outside backer.
Yeah,
And then we
Hartzog's
got,
5'9", 175.
right, dude, that's me. That's me, bro. But not obviously. I don't have dreads or definitely not as good as Malcolm Hartzog is as football, but you're looking at if you see me in real life, that's who's playing safety for Nebraska. And that might be a little concerning to some guys, but he's a dog. I don't got no problem in that. But it's just a little weird that they're choosing him to move from safety to, or from quarterback to safety, excuse me. So I mean, it's going to be who's our guy on the other side? Fucking
Fucking Beaver, dude, right? Or who
no,
are you talking?
Buford's a safety.
Uh, we got one of the Boodle brothers, dude, right? Don't we?
One of the Boodle brothers. There's Ethan Nation, who is
Yep.
returning punts, kind of. Um, yeah, Dwight Boodle, Ethan Nation, Belial Hill is that guy that they brought in from community college. And then the other corner, he's still cornerback. I just can't think of who it is right now. I wish this is when we need damn E-Rock.
God damn it, E-Rock. It's
I
your
wish
fucking
we could.
fucking Tommy Hill, dude.
Tommy Hill. Tommy Hill. Tommy Hill
Yes,
is that guy.
yes, yes,
Tommy Hill. He's
yes.
he's pretty much locked in on that side. So it's going to be interested who takes over that other side. A big thing to watch in spring ball is what I'm guessing. Um, what else we got? I got one more headline here that I kind of wanted to talk about. And this is about Troy Dannens versus TREVOR Alberts on the 1890. Apparently, TREVOR and 1890 had some beef.
That makes sense.
He didn't want those guys. He wanted to have the NIL within the university, and Troy Dannens, the exact opposite. He says, you're going to see me wearing just as much 1890 gear as you are Nebraska gear because these are the guys paying our players.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm glad that he's kind of taken that because, dude, 1890, like their whatever ads on Memorial Stadium or whatever in PBA last year, I guess they had to pay for those ads. So it's kind of like we're all working to make Nebraska better, but yet you want to make the guys that pay your players pay for ads. I feel like we're losing some funds here if we do that, you know?
But
Like,
then the university is losing money on ad deals. It's
okay,
kind of a catch 22.
right, but like at the end of the day, you're
You want to
paying like
promote.
then you don't have to if you're putting the NIL initiative into the own school, then that's just
Right.
one less thing you got to worry about. You just got a different entity doing it for you,
It
and
sounds like
that's like
Trev
one less
Alberts
thing.
got caught up on the wrong shit. He's like, I don't want to, pay for something. And because technically 1890 is separate from him. So the university doesn't see that money. It goes to the players. So the university
Right.
is losing money, but it's beneficial in terms of getting the players, like to your point.
Right. Like I feel like we should if you want to be all for the players and that's what an athletic director should be doing, like yeah, you want resources to help build like all the facilities and shit, but we got donors for that and I feel like Nebraska is not lacking in that area with
Yeah,
donors.
no.
So it's like let's get the most of the money that we can in this initiative to our players and why are we worrying about like fucking that just seems not that doesn't seem like the
Seems
most
like bad
logical thing.
business. Yeah, it seems a little like bad
Yeah,
business because you're kind of promoting yourself in a way.
right. Yeah, you are like
Yeah.
so maybe Trevor and
And
Matt
and the
Davidson
weird
had some
thing
beef.
is, it's isn't it illegal to have 1890 be part of the university because the students aren't employees, so that's illegal, right?
And that's what I was confused with too. Like I should have brought that up earlier, but yeah, what are can you even do that? Can we even have the initiative within the university? Like I didn't think that
From
that was
everything
okay.
I thought the whole deal, like the law situation going right now, was that they're trying to make students become employees so the university can pay them directly. But right now, that's why all schools have their own initiative that's technically separate.
Right. Right.
I don't know. I don't
So
know.
I feel like that relationship should be really good with the like because they're
Yeah,
not technically part of the university, but if you're working with the university, that's probably your best bet.
because
Like
as an
you don't
athletic
want to be
director,
fucking foes with those guys.
because they're paying the people that go to school at your school.
Yeah. So I think that Troy's looking at it the right way, and I'm glad that he sees it that way instead of Trevor Benedict Albert's way. Um,
And Troy, we
yeah.
trust.
In Troy, we trust. We love you, Troy. Just waiting for those passes, buddy.
You
Nope, no,
got
he's got a lot on his plate, dude. He's got
I-
honestly,
you got any hype of the weekend?
Hype of the week, dude. I mean, we do got top 25 baseball team right now, which is sick.
That is sick.
Um, what else? I don't know, man. Hype of the week. I got to get better on the hype of the week.
My hype of the week. Um, I went to the gym this morning as I do every morning, and when I was leaving, I usually make coffee at home, but today I went to Starbucks and I got myself a latte. And when you don't have to make your own coffee and it's something different out of the ordinary, because normally I'm a black coffee guy, but when you
Right.
can sometimes switch it up for that latte and you just treat yourself, that's my hype of the week.
Nice. Nice. You like the little latte?
Yeah.
Dude, I
No
feel like
flavoring,
when I
just
yeah, I feel like when I have one of those coffees, dude, I'm just so underwhelmed and I'm like, how can people, it's like a monthly subscription for people, dude. It's an insane monthly subscription that people that go into Starbucks every single morning save your money, get some shitty cheap coffee, man, and you'll grow a taste to like I just like shitty black coffee.
yep.
Maybe put a few ice cubes in there.
I actually have been drinking a lot of, if I make coffee at home, it's actually mud water, that like mushroom mix. And
Uh-huh.
I've been
Uh-huh.
doing that and shit, and I like it a lot actually.
Yeah, I gotta try that. I mean, I get free coffee from work. Just brew a pot, it's Folgers,
Yep.
Don't put anything in there. Just fucking drink that shit straight, man.
Yep.
It feels good. You know what I like? My morning water. I'm on the teen now. That's a hype of the week, I guess.
Okay.
I'm on the creatine, baby. And I'm feeling pretty damn good, dude. Push ups and pull ups.
Are
I
you
knock
in
those bitches
nickels and
out.
dimesing?
A little bit of nickels and dimes, like 20 down, like so 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Do that. Um, been jumping in the ocean every day, which makes me feel really freaking good,
Oh
dude.
yeah.
Get grounded with nature. Mother nature, man. When you hop into that ocean, dude, it does something to you.
Yeah. That
It does
salt's just
something to
good
you.
for you.
Yep. And then trying to run also as well, man. I'm trying to get that summer bod, dude.
Yep. Yep. Summer
I
bodies are made right now, man.
I feel like the face is slimming down a little bit. If I look back at the January and February pods, Aaron, you told me, I remember at Steamboat when we were on vacation, you said, that's not the Eddie I know. I was shirtless. I had a few Coors Lights, walking around with my shirt off, and you go, that's not the Eddie I know.
It's because Eddie's the guy that got a lightning bolt tattooed on his foot to remind himself to never get fat. And I always
Yeah.
remember that. I love that about you.
Yeah. And I do look at that and I go, dude, I need to run. I need to start running. Been running fucking
You were, well, because you were a big cyclist for a while.
right, right.
Before Eddie had a car in California, he was cycling loads of miles a week.
I rode a bike everywhere, man. For like a
Yeah.
year, I didn't have a car down here.
Remember you had those, I feel like your quads at that point in time were just rock solid,
Right.
dude.
Yeah, dude. I was fucking biking to and fro work and yeah, that was good.
Those are the days, man. Back in
Yeah, that
Newport.
was.
Oh, shit. All right.
Freaking Newport Beach, California, dude, give it up. Finally getting nice around here, man. The last 2 years, the rain has been stupid. I feel like it rains more here than it does in fucking Nebraska, and it's been pissing me off.
Damn, bro.
Yeah,
It never rains in Southern California.
just has been. I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. Kind of annoying. Um, but
47 in the
yeah,
book.
man, another one in the book. Episode 47. Spring ball is upon us. I can't wait until the spring game. We got probably two more episodes until the spring game. We can
Three.
finally do that. Yeah. Um, fuck yeah, baby. Well, that was another episode of Husker Hype Radio. I'm Eddie Rosenthal. That's Aaron Worsfold. As always, folks, bleed red, shit corn,
Go Big Red.
go big red.
Woo!
Peace.